The object of this video is to learn about Hilbert basis theorem. This theorem concerned with Noetherian ring. If R is a Noetherian ring, then Rx is also Noetherian ring, where Rx is a ring of polynomial. We divide this study in three parts. First, we will discuss about some property of polynomial ring. Second, we will learn some equivalent property of Noetherian ring, and finally we will prove Hilbert basis theorem. So first of all, we will learn about polynomial ring. This video may be of length 20 to 30 minutes. So to learn about this theorem, you have to stay with me. First we consider polynomial ring. Let R be a ring and Rx is a collection of all polynomials over R. If we take n equals 0, then we have only this elements. So we have this situation R contained in Rx, because it implies that every elements of R is a polynomial. That is called constant polynomial of degree 0 except the 0 polynomial. The degree of 0 polynomial is not defined. If R is a ring with unity, in that case 1 belongs to Rx and 1 can be written as x raised to power 0 in Rx. One can prove that Rx is a ring of polynomial over R, and one can easily show that it is an R module. If R is a field, then Rx is principal ideal domain. That can be seen in this proposition. R is a commutative ring with unity. Then we have three equivalent conditions. R is a field, Rx is Euclidean domain, and Rx is principal ideal domain. It means that every ideal of Rx is generated by a single element. Now we study some properties of Noetherian ring. First of all, we define Noetherian ring. A ring R is called left Noetherian, or one can say right Noetherian, if every infinite ascending chain of left ideals, similarly one can say about right ideals, if we have a chain of ideals satisfying this property for some positive integer k, then we say that the ring is Noetherian. So if there is an ascending chain of right ideal and satisfying this condition, so we say that ring R is right Noetherian. So there will be a stage k such that after this stage ik equal ik plus 1 equal ik plus 2 and so on. We have this stationary situations of ideal. In such situation, we say that ring is with ACC, ascending chain conditions. Now we have the following three equivalent statement which will be useful in proving Hilbert basis theorem. R is a right Noetherian. Maximum condition holds for right ideals of R. It means that if there is a collection of right ideal, then it has maximal element. And third, which is every right ideal of R is finitely generated. So if R is Noetherian, we can say every right ideal of R is finitely generated, and if every ideal of a ring is finitely generated, then ring must be Noetherian. So in proving Hilbert basis theorem, we will use condition first and condition third. So this is the statement of Hilbert basis theorem. If R is a ring with unity, then R is Noetherian if and all if Rx is Noetherian. So first of all, we will consider R is Noetherian and we will show that Rx is Noetherian. So in order to prove that Rx is Noetherian, we must show that if I is any ideal, right ideal of Noetherian ring, then it is finitely generated. So let R be a right Noetherian ring with unity and I be any ideal of Rx. To prove Rx is Noetherian, we shall show that I is finitely generated. So if I is 0, then we have nothing to do because obviously it is finitely generated. So we can assume that I is non-zero. So if it is non-zero, then it has a non-zero polynomial. Okay, so it has a non-zero polynomial, and that non-zero polynomial having a non-zero leading coefficient. Okay, so that can be done for every polynomial. So for each positive integer r greater than equal to 0, we can collect the coefficient of leading coefficient of all non-zero elements of I of degree r. We mean to say that we can take AR as a subset of R, which contains the leading coefficient of elements of I, non-zero elements of I, including with 0. We mean to say that we can take AR as AR is 0 and union with elements of R, where this A is the leading coefficient of some non-zero polynomial that belongs to I. Okay, so AR is obviously non-empty as 0 belongs to R and I is a non-zero. So there must be a non-zero polynomial and there must be a non-zero element A belongs to R. So obviously AR is non-empty. So AR is a non-empty, and one can see that AR is a right ideal of R. AR is a right ideal of R. As you know that if you take A and B, two elements in AR, then there will be two non-zero polynomial in I with leading coefficient A and B respectively. So one can obviously we can obviously find a non-zero polynomial or a zero polynomial with leading coefficient A minus B. So therefore A minus B will be in AR, and similarly we can say that if there is an element of R and there A belongs to AR, then the element with A will be in AR. So it is, I think, a routine exercise. Now these ideals satisfying this ascending chain condition. Now we will show that these ideals satisfying this condition. Now in this we can say that AR is containing AR plus 1. AR is containing AR plus 1. Okay. If A belongs to R, then we must show that A belongs to AR plus 1. If A belongs to R, then there must be a non-zero polynomial with the leading coefficient of A in I. And I is an ideal of Rx. I is an ideal of Rx. Therefore, X and that polynomial, the product of X with that polynomial belongs to I with leading coefficient A of degree AR plus 1. So A belongs to AR plus 1. I hope this point is clear now. So we have a collection of right ideals of R which satisfying this ascending chain condition. Since R is Noetherian, so there exists a positive integer n such that an is equal an plus 1 equal an plus 2 and so on, and we can write like this. Since R is a Noetherian, so this AR is finitely generated. Let it is generated by these elements AR1, AR2, ARMR. So these elements ARJ belongs to AR as a generator of AR. Since ARJ belongs to AR, so there must be a non-zero polynomial in I of degree R with leading coefficient ARJ. So let this polynomial is this FRJX belongs to I of degree R with the leading coefficient of ARJ. Now corresponding to these generating element, we have polynomials in I. We claim that I is generated by these polynomials. I is generated by these polynomials. Let J be the right ideal of Rx generated by these polynomials FRJ generated by these polynomials. Since these polynomial already belongs to I and J is generated by these polynomial, so it means that J is the smallest ideal that contains these polynomial and therefore J is contained in I. So now in order to show that I is generated by these polynomial, it is sufficient to prove that J is I, and for this we will show that I is containing J. So now our problem is this: I is containing J. J is an ideal generated by these type of polynomials. Okay, there are polynomial FR1, FR2, FRMR. Okay, J is generated by these polynomial. For this, we will take a polynomial in I and we will show it is in J. So let F be a polynomial in I of degree S. Then clearly lambda S is non-zero element. Lambda S is a non-zero element of this polynomial. Okay, we will apply induction on S. If we take S equal to 0, then we have F equal lambda naught. And it is a non-zero element of a leading coefficient of F. Therefore, lambda naught belongs to A naught. And A naught is generated by A naught 1, A naught 2, A naught M naught. And F naught 1 is a polynomial in I whose leading coefficient of this of degree 0. Therefore, F naught 1 is same as F naught 1. A naught 1 is same as F naught 1. A naught 2 is F naught 2. A naught M equal F naught M naught. So these are elements of R and these are also elements of R, which are as we have discussed. So since J is generated by all these type of polynomials, so this generating set is containing J and therefore F belongs to J in this situation. By induction step, we can assume that S is greater than 0 and F belongs to J for all those polynomial which are in I and degree is less than S. So induction is true for all polynomial of I whose degree is less than S. Now we will show that F belongs to J, a polynomial of degree S. For this we divide our study in two parts. First part, when S is greater than N. N is what here? N is this, the least positive integer N, satisfying this condition An plus 1, and S is the degree of the polynomial F. If S is greater than S, then by our condition AS equal AN, because we have proved that AN plus 1, AN plus 2 all will be equal. So AN will equal to AS. Now lambda S belongs to AS. Now it will be in AN, and AN is generated by the elements AN1, AN2, ANMN. So lambda S can be written as a linear combinations of elements of AN1, AN2, ANMN for some beta 1, beta 2, beta mn belongs to R. Now we define a polynomial G. Polynomial G is defined as AN1 is a leading coefficient of Fn1 and Fn1 belongs to I, non-zero polynomial in I whose leading coefficient is an1. Similarly, an2 is a leading coefficient of fn2. Anmn is a element of R which is a leading coefficient of fnmn in I. So this expression is of degree n because fn1 is a leading coefficient of an1. So this is a polynomial of degree n. This is element of an, and therefore this polynomial of degree n. So this sum is a polynomial of degree n, and to make of degree s we can multiply this term. So if we multiply x raised to power s minus 1, the polynomial this is of degree s. Now this is also of degree s. Now they may be equal. If they equal, G must be 0. If they are not equal, but by this condition the leading coefficient of this and this is equal, it means that degree of G is less than S, and therefore by induction hypothesis G belongs to J. G belongs to J. Now F can be written as in this form. Now this belongs to J because J is generated by this type of polynomial, and G belongs to J as we have shown that. So therefore F belongs to J. So in this case we have shown that F belongs to J when F belongs to I. If S is less than equal n, lambda S belongs to AS, that generated by AS1, AS2, ASMS, where AS1 is the leading coefficient of non-zero polynomial of degree S, Fs1 in I, Fs2 in I, Fsms in I of degree S, whose leading coefficient are these. Okay. Now since lambda S belongs to this, so lambda S will be generated by these elements. So lambda S can be written this. Consider a polynomial H as we have discussed in previous case. F equal this. Now this is a polynomial of degree S. This is also polynomial of degree S. This is also polynomial of degree S. So this is a polynomial of degree S with the leading coefficient this, and this is also a polynomial of degree S. So if both are equal, then H will be 0, and if they are not equal but leading coefficient as per condition this is equal, so its degree is less than S, and therefore by induction hypothesis H belongs to J. And as we have argued that H belongs to J and this also belongs to J because the J is generated by this type of polynomials, this. So therefore F belongs to J. So in both the situation we have proved that for every F belongs to I in J, and therefore I is equal J, and since J is a finitely generated, so I is also finitely generated, and hence by this condition, as we have studied, that every ideal of Rx is finitely generated, so Rx is Noetherian. So we have proved that Rx is Noetherian. Conversely, if Rx is Noetherian, since R is a ring with unity, so ideal of Rx of the type submodule we can take. This is a submodule generated by X, and by the submodule property Rx is Noetherian, so Rx upon ideal this generated by this is quotient module is also Noetherian, and it is isomorphic to this, therefore right side is Noetherian, so R is also Noetherian. Now these are two simple consequences of the above. Now if R is Noetherian, in this you can say that R is Noetherian, then we can write then Rx is Noetherian as according to Hilbert basis theorem. We can name it R naught. Okay. Now R naught is Noetherian, then R naught Y is Noetherian, and R naught Y is Rxy. Okay. So in this way we can say that if R is Noetherian, then Rxy is also Noetherian, and then that can be extended for finite x1, x2, xn. Okay, that was the proof of Hilbert basis theorem. I hope all students can be benefited with this proof, and if they have any question regarding this, then they may ask. Thank you for listening me.